Well, hello again, everybody. Today, we are doing a viewer suggested video. This comment right here, I'll put a little box there with a comment in it, was asking about a way to have AC power running this and have it to where it will automatically battery backup whenever you have a power outage, or let's say even somebody walks by and knocks the plug out of the wall or something. You blow a fuse because you're working in the shop and you overload a power outlet. You don't want your heater just to switch off, so this will prevent that. And it will also, I'm going to show you how to make this heater basically run off of its own battery. It will run by itself. I can run this for about 6 hours without having it hooked to anything, with it just no wires running to it at all. I think it may be a 12 amp hour or something like that. It's not made to run for a long time, and I had space constraints, weight constraints and stuff like that, so I just mainly wanted that for a more or less a backup. Now, in order to make it so that we can run plugged into an AC power source, it's going to be a little different. Now, I have a couple of things here, which this is going to be a very easy install on this, but I am going to go through and I'm going to show you how I have everything hooked up. What I got here is I got a battery charger. This is not a very expensive one. This is Everstart. I got this at Walmart. I'll put links to this stuff in the description down below. But I got this at Walmart. It is just a small battery charger that runs off of 110 volts, hooks directly up to your battery with there they are. You can have ring connectors connected directly to your battery, and that's how we're going to hook it up. And this is completely automatic, so you don't have to go in and push buttons or anything like that. It's also, where this is ran outside a lot of times, this is actually weatherproof. Now, if you never run your heater outside or ever get it wet, then it wouldn't have to be a waterproof charger, but I just got it because, you know, well, because this was pretty much the cheapest one they had. Now, it's only a 4 amp charger, and admittedly 4 amps is not going to run this heater on startup and shutdown, but the only time that this uses more than probably about 2 amps is on startup and shutdown. Most of the time 2 amps is probably the max. If you're not running it on wide open, you're probably maybe an amp or less running this heater. So this has 4 amps, so it will, no matter what, if you're running at full tilt, this will keep up. Now, it will have to also charge the battery up after your initial start, because you're going to use the battery in this to do your initial start, because it's going to have to draw from the power in that battery to start it up. Once it's running, this will put out enough to run it. Now, I think this will be a good fit for this situation. So all we got to do, get into it and start putting it together. Okay, so this is the back of the heater, and this is a plug I'm going to use. Now, this just came off of a let's see, it was an old leaf blower. It was a 110 volt leaf blower. You just plug in here and you can use the leaf blower, but the leaf blower died on me, so I still have the plug. And the ideal thing for this would have been a you've seen these RV plugs. That is a pass-through plug. Like I said, all this stuff will be in the description. But the one I would recommend, I'll put in the description. It is a RV pass-through plug that you don't have to put it right here. You could put it down in the box itself. I just happen to have this hole, which my air breather is right here. So there's room right here, and the exhaust doesn't start until way up here in the middle. So I can put this in here. It's not perfect, no, but it will work. And this is what we're going to do. But this will get us in business here. There we go. That one is good and tight. And I don't believe I can get another screw in it. But that is probably going to hold just fine. That will work. I may go ahead and actually order the other piece, but for right now, that'll work. Okay, so I got it all tipped over. I would recommend doing this with a very low amount of diesel. If not, just run the diesel completely out first. But what I have is probably about a half tank, so I had to prop it up on this end. I had to set the thing on there. But whenever you turn this heater sideways and you got diesel in there, you're going to leak a little bit out, so just be aware of that. But anyway, to do this, what we're going to need, here's our connector. So we can, this is a way bigger ring terminal here. Okay, so these ring terminals are way too big. The one might work, but I'm going to change both of them anyway. Okay, anyway, alright, so here is our excess wire, and I did color code these, so the red is positive, and the black, or the blue, of course, is the negative. So we will just go ahead and we'll put, and there is a fuse for this in the heater part itself, so don't worry, I'm not leaving a fuse out. Okay, so there, that one is hooked up. Okay, so those are all hooked up. That is the battery charger side. Now we need the power side, which is going to be, okay, so if you look at the insulation on this, there's little ridges on one side of the wire. That'll be your neutral or your white wire. So we'll go ahead and hook that up to the white wire here. Safety tug to make sure it all went together. Same thing on the other side. And this will be your hot. And I am, just to be safe, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this liquid electrical tape stuff on it. It gives a little extra protection. You can actually job it down inside of the plastic, and that makes you a little waterproof connection here. So that way we don't have to worry about water infiltration. So what we need is just some cable management now. As this stuff has to move, and let's see which way it moves. See, our exhaust pipe is right here. Okay, so now we have our setup ready to go. And I'm going to try to direct this back here. And I'm going to tie it to this wire to keep it away from the exhaust. We don't want any wires to get anywhere close to that exhaust pipe. We want to keep them far away. So I am going to attach this to this red wire here. Okay, so the way I have this hooked up, okay, the battery is not always connected to the heater. So if you have it just connected straight from the battery straight up to the heater, then your battery will run down very, very quickly. So what I did is I came out of the battery through a switch. Right here is the switch, right down here, back out of the switch, and then up to the heater. And that goes, of course, to our terminals right here. All right, so there we have a voltmeter. I plugged it in for a second or two, but okay, what we're going to do, plug the charger in. Can y'all see those? Not sure if you can see those numbers or not. 1361. Okay, I'm going to start the heater up. Okay, the heater is on. Actually, since we're pulling more amperage right now, the charger sensed the extra load and actually turned the amperage up. So let's just see what it gets to while it's doing its startup. Now it's turned off. Okay, we are fully lit and running. And you can see that the voltage has jumped back up. Hopefully you can see that. If you cannot see it, it is 12.9, 12.95, 96. Okay, so you probably wouldn't run it wide open all the time anyway, so. Okay, so we're going to let it run for a while and stabilize. You can see the battery is going back up. So we'll let it run a little while and get stabilized. Okay, so the heater has been running for a few minutes. You can see the battery is at almost 14 volts. Probably be at 14 volts in just a second here. So the heater's running, the battery is going up. Now the only thing that we have it plugged into is power. Is just this extension cord plugged into AC power. That's the only power we have going to this heater right now. And this display is very dim. You can see I got it at 4.2. You probably can't see that actually. It's been running for like 14 minutes. So let's crank it up to 7.2. And you can see the heater is running very well. It's at full temperature and it's putting out very, very nice heat. Of course, the exhaust is very hot. This is really nice coming out of here. Can't actually hold your hand there for very long. It gets uncomfortable. Okay, so now running at full tilt, it's went down a little, but it will maintain that. See, it's going between 7, 8, and 9. Can y'all even see that? This display is not that great. Okay, yeah. Running on 7.2, it can maintain 13.6, almost 13.7 volts, running continuously. Now, the nightmare situation of all at once, our power is removed. So what happens with our heater? Here's the test of what happens when you lose power completely. Okay, we have lost power completely. It's dropped down a little bit, but it's still 12.5 volts. Still getting plenty of heat. We can probably turn it on down a little. Start down to 5.3. That's probably closer to what y'all would have, about 5.3. And it will continuously put out this heat for probably 4 or 5 hours. You can see at that speed, we are at, glare is awful, 12.89, 12.88, 12.89. And it will run at that speed for probably, let's say a good 6 hours. Now when you want to do the shutdown, you would want to have power applied to it. But now, what else can you do with this? This does add another little bit of versatility to this heater itself. Take this heater and set it out somewhere. You want to charge your car battery up. Well, plug that in, hook your terminals on here, leave your switch on, and you can run these straight to your car battery and charge it up. So yeah, you have a very versatile diesel heater now. It can run by itself, it can run hooked to 12 volts, or it can run hooked to the wall or the house power, shop power, whatever. And if you do lose power on either one, you don't have to worry about damaging your heater. So, I don't know, I call that pretty much a success. Alright, so I would say that was a successful test. I've got the thing going through its shutdown phase now. And it's still charging the battery. It's maintaining 12.4, and that is pulling like 10 amps, 8 to 10 amps, whatever it pulls. That's about what it pulls, 8 to 10 amps. And with that, we have our 3-way powered diesel heater. Now, hopefully this will help somebody out and let you know what tricks you can use to ensure that your diesel heater performs into the future very well. And that should about do it. Anyway, I guess that's going to be about it for this little video. I appreciate everybody watching, and I'll see y'all on the next one.